All right, kids, it's back here to Energy Boom 101. Dispatch from the patch, I think it's 106 actually. I don't know for sure, but check this out. This is that patented, and we patented this, so don't try this. I mean, this is crazy stuff. Here's the patented spin cam. We're outside of Cafe Plaid. That's looking north. This is the Pladio. That's the patio of the Plaid, so it's pretty crazy. Or the USS, the deck of the Pladio. We hope to be out here a few chilly mornings sipping on some scotch and giving you a report from the oil patch. That's the goal here at Energy Boom 101. By the way, we are drilling the strata of self and fracking the feelings of being. Trademark it. TM it. Let's do this though, since this is Energy Boom 101, the Confluence, where we talk about crude oil and cannabis. And the previous dispatch, we gave you a glorious overview of the four-leaf clover, which I'm sure didn't do anything to help the cause. Hang on, there's a bird getting really close. We're going to try and see if we can't get this little rascal up here. It's not going to happen. But what we are going to give you is just a nice little connect the dots in the headlines of the energy world from the Wall Street Journal. Stand back, it's crazy. First one, Ukraine abandons its base. Okay, so you know what's going on there. The Ukraine is, I'm not going to say they're under siege, but Vladimir Putin has pulled out the pinky, and he's going to put the hurt on them. Maybe, we'll see. It is the first move in the global energy chess match / risk game that we're still trying to get the chess club from Boom U to help us organize. We've made a few phone calls there, not much is happening. I'm going to let you guys focus. You know what, I'm going to let you sort of see the newspaper now. Because we found a few things in here that are sort of fun that have to do with energy. And the first one is, check this out. Oh shit, check this out. At 2 minutes into this broadcast, and I shit you not, it is the 2 o'clock bells of Boom U. Ask not, my friend. Ask not for whom they toll. Respect them, integrate them, listen to them. There's one. There's two. There's fuck you. That's spelled PH, by the way. Here comes the chant, the Gregorian chant, performed by David Bourne, I think. So as the bells are booming, there they are, with the bells in the background, the bubble and the buzz of the boom in the background. Any more bees and we're going to lose it. We're going to give you some updates here. Check this out. Canada Resources Chief moves to finance post. The Canadian Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, named his point person on the Keystone XL pipeline to take over the finance ministry, filling the post vacated by Jim Flaherty, who's probably no relation to Joe Flaherty, on Tuesday. I don't know what this means. I don't care. You read it. Canada Resources. That's got to be something. But here's the better one to read. With the bells in the background, this is priceless. Little article here in the World Watch section below the fold of the Wall Street Journal, Thursday, March 20th, which is 2 days ago. We're behind the scenes here. Check this out. President is named in costly company purchase. A scandal surrounding the acquisition of a Texas oil refinery by Brazilian state-run energy company Petrobras years ago resurfaced after new questions arose about President Dilma Rousseff's handling of the deal. So let me just give you the bottom line here. Petrobras paid nearly $1.2 billion for a facility, and this was back, I think, in 2006, that the previous owner, Transcore Astra Group SA, had bought for $42 million. Now, I don't know who Transcore Astra Group is. I don't know what improvements they did, if any. But they bought a facility for $42 million, and they sold it for approximately $1.2 billion to Petrobras in Brazil. Does this need to be investigated? I don't know. Someone else is already doing it, but it's definitely an energy story, so we brought it to you. We're going to give you a nice shot up here because we've got some winds blowing pretty good, and you still got the bells booming, and we're going to move on to find the next connect the dot in the newspapers here in the energy world. And I think there was one other story. Well, I guess that's the only story in the front section. But in the marketplace, they got a huge story. Check this out. The new future for American coal exported. Shocker. No shit. Let me just go ahead and read you basically what wraps it all up here. By the way, you probably want to read this article. It's by John Miller, The New Future for American Coal, Exported. I'm just going to go down to the first, second, to the third paragraph and let you hear the obvious here. As environmental restrictions and abundant natural gas reduce coal consumption at home, exports have become more important for U.S. mining companies. In other words, the U.S. coal companies that can export are going to be the ones that do well, and their share prices may rise. Who knows? But it's interesting. I would recommend you read it. Also, what's interesting, we'll give you a quick throwdown on, is this lovely little graph. This is great, from Appalachia to the world. So coal exports have been rising. You can see this graph right here shows that they've been rising over the years. I know that's not in focus. Here's a good one, though. Who consumes the top importers or the top consumers of U.S. coal in 2013? Top, the UK. I never would have guessed that. I think Tom Jones is probably putting it in his pants. Below that, the Netherlands. Below that, Brazil, South Korea, China, Canada, Italy, Mexico, Germany, and Japan. Really interesting. I don't know why, but an interesting look at the top consumers of U.S. coal. So there's probably got to be some way to use that as a way to build up a good investment theme on some of these coal companies that maybe are battered down and their prices are low and maybe they're a great buy. Who knows? Anyway, there's a big article there on energy, and there was another article on energy in the same section. It's going to be a challenge with this wind dealing with the newspaper, but we're going to get it done, trust me. Here's a good one. BP company is the high bidder for 24 oil and gas blocks. BP, you remember them, British Petroleum, appeared to win new drilling rights in the Gulf of Mexico on Wednesday, less than a week after a federal ban was lifted that kept the company from doing business. Holy smokes. London-based BP was the high bidder on 24 oil and gas blocks out of 31 properties that were pursued in an auction. The company will pay $41.6 million for access to explore in the U.S. waters off the coast of Louisiana and Bama. This is pretty interesting. The deal marks the first time since November 2012 that BP has been able to expand its offshore drilling sites in the Gulf. The Environmental Protection Agency banned BP from getting any new government contracts, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we get all this. Everyone knows the history. Read it. Anyway, BP's back in the game, which is nice to see. And let's see what else is happening here in energy as you gaze upon this lovely ad for Verizon. Brazil retreats on costly plan, okay, that drew the ire of Google. Okay, so see, Google has its own influence in Brazil just like energy does. The internet is just another form of energy, I suspect. Too bad they can't commoditize the internet somehow. Let's see, maybe it's already been that way. I don't know. Anything else here crazy in the paper? Yeah, the EU fined the ball bearing firms. Wow, someone's ball bearings are out of whack. Here, look at this. Chevron seeks fees in racketeering trial by Jennifer Smith. After beating New York plaintiff's lawyer Stephen Donziger in court earlier this month, Chevron has asked the judge who presided over the racketeering trial to award it $32.3 million in attorney's fees. All right, Chevron's back in the house, and check this out. There's a squirrel making his play. We're going to beware of him. Okay, so that's really about it for energy news. There's actually a little more, and we're going to get to that because we're only at 10 minutes. And check this out. Delta tries to solve the Chinese riddle. Delta, the airlines, I think they own their own refinery. I think. I don't know for sure. Okay, money and investing. Here's another big thing on energy. Right here. Big deal caps rise of a trading house. So this is the story of a trading house that trades the actual physical commodities like oil. And it's pretty interesting because they're clearly a part of the energy chain. And we can sort of see who the big players are right here. Trading hubs. These are really big commodities trading giants. It's, by the way, a small fraternity of global commodity trading giants. And they trade physical commodities. And it's sort of interesting, and we'll probably hear about them here and there. I know that there's oil involved in there somewhere. But we want to go back to this little thing right here, this next article that says Argentina's bond yields lure buyers. So Argentina, I guess, is starting to get some investors in their bonds after they decided to pay the Spanish oil company Repsol $5 billion. Just a little more news there on energy. We can jump right into, that was the Wall Street Journal, by the way. We can jump into the Oklahoman now. I don't know how much time we'll have. We can do some pretty good oil patch jazz. I know you're dying to end out on some oil patch jazz, and we'll probably try and set up a camera angle to where you don't get sick or have to take Dramamine in order to watch this show, because I know that the camera has been a little disjointed and fragmented at times. We'll work on that. That's what we're attempting to unleash. But in the meantime, I think we can end this thing on a wacky note of oil patch jazz. We'll just riff off that. And this is from even further back in time, Wednesday, March 19th in the Daily Oklahoman. And I think you'll probably find some good stuff here. Check this out. Completions. In Grady County, Sheridan production, 41 barrels a day. Nothing wrong with that. K County, range production, 302 barrels a day, my friend. The 302 was a wicked old Ford engine, by the way. Had a friend that had a 302 in his Mach 1. Pretty wicked, the Mach Buster. Marshall County, XTO Energy, that's owned by Exxon Kidz. So they've got 3 wells in Marshall County. They popping it at 306, 380, and 242 barrels a day. So probably pretty good. Hell, I don't know. Payne County, there's our buddies Devon Energy in Payne County, hitting one for 70 barrels a day. Pontotoc County's a pretty good name. Sheridan went down there. They drilled down to 5,000 feet and don't report any production, so I don't know. Looks like no production there. But there's a variety of wells being drilled. So now we go to Woods County, taking yourself all the way up to, that's probably Mississippi Lime Play. You got Mid-States Petroleum, 104 barrels a day and 66 barrels a day. Mid-States, I think, might be publicly traded, too. And then Intent to Drill, what's coming up. We may find some interesting stuff here. In Alfalfa County, great name, you got Chesapeake. In Carter County, you got Chaparral. In Dewey County, you got Mewburn. I don't know if I've pronounced that right, but they're a big Oklahoma private oil company. In Ellis County as well, you got Mewburn. Maybe it's Mewburn. In K County, you got International Energy coming up. In Kingfisher, you got Hinkle Oil and Gas and Payne Exploration. Logan County, you got Sundance, which is an Australian company. And Murray County, you got Stevens. In Noble, you got Devon. Oh, wicked. Check out the name of the Devon well, True Grit. Noble County, the Devon well is called True Grit. You got to love them. Red Fork's also going to be drilling in Noble. They're out of Australia, I think. Roger Mills, pardon me, not Roger Miller. Roger Mills has Intervest, which I think they might be publicly traded. If not, they've done some deals with Chesapeake, and the name of their well, by the way, is the Bigfoot, so watch out. It could get you. It's the Bigfoot. In Texas County, which is up in the Panhandle, you got Winecoff Petroleum. Interesting. Tillman County, remember that one's an interesting one in the southeast part of Oklahoma. That's AC operating, and we'll be drilling there. And then in Woods County, you got Redland Resources. So there's a little oil patch jazz for you, along with a nice global view of what's going on in the energy world based on the Wall Street Journal. We've got more energy news we could get to if we had the time with this business section. We might have time. Hell, there's only 13 minutes into it. Yeah, there's tons of shit. We're going to have to do an entirely different dispatch, I think, on that one. Anyway, this has been dispatch about 106 probably. And there's a little wrap-up on the energy game straight from the Boom U 321 Boom.